Once, in Crimea on Sarich Cape, in October 2011, a group of people put up a flag. Many other people had before put up flags for a variety of reasons, but never before had anyone done anything quite like this. This event signaled the start of Mixovka, the project that drew together travelers from different countries. From the internet, on the internet, from the internet, found the information on the internet, I think on the Facebook. I saw an ad. I got a letter from your lady, Christy I think her name was. I started reading, we started corresponding, they said come, and I said I'm not much of a traveler, I would come to this event wherever it would take place. So I gave it a thought, and they said, but you will be a traveler. I was planning my motor journey, and I decided to take part. And I badly needed to communicate with the people who have the experience. Had there been no travelers in the world, there would be no roads. Mixovka is a meeting, a rally, a conference of real travelers. The people who don't just travel at leisure, but really live it. Alexei Korobin, a solo moto traveler since 2009. In 2010, he went around the Black Sea and made a 20,000-kilometer trip to Mongolia through Russia, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. Inspired and organized Mixovka.
Это встреча для знакомства, обмена опытом.
This event is for people to meet, to share their experience, and in these 3 days, to get an inspiration from the people who have come here, from the environment created. The special format of the event was set by its main goal, the real-time opportunity to merge your life and experience with those of the people living with similar values but walking their own paths. Of course, the unique thing is that there are so many interesting people on such a small patch of earth, a mixture of absolutely different life standpoints, different traveling formats and categories. The idea is quite good. It's really interesting to look at them. Water travelers, cyclists, car and motor travelers, many questions. A good event.
I met great people.
I like the traveler has been traveling with the baby since it was 3 months old. It's a unique event. It's taking place for the first time.
Мне нравится общение с новыми интересными людьми,
I love meeting new, interesting and unique people, those who can broaden your horizons. The idea to get the real travelers together in one place and to have them communicate with one another started my engine, so to speak. And what I would really love to do here is to get together absolutely different people of different traveling types, so to speak. My main task, goal or wish is for the people who are one step away from getting underway and just need this last impulse to get them going. And Mixovka can help them pluck up their courage and take the first step. It's the opportunity to meet everyone in person that drew here the travelers from Ukraine, Russia and other countries.
I like travel with the motorcycle, but I admire people that are traveling with bicycles and walking, because it's much harder.
Sabin Kolarov, motorcyclist, rally racer, multiple winner of Bulgarian Off-Road Championship, champion of Bulgaria in 2005, 4x4 Albanian Rally Raid, Greece Avia Rally, Bayern Saxonia Germany, Karpat Trophy Romania 4x4, Bulgarian Dakar team manager.
And it was very interesting meeting these guys. I cannot imagine, and the guy with the boat, I cannot imagine how hard it is what they did. I respect it very much.
Для меня это встреча с людьми.
For me, it's meeting people like me,
Я похож на них, и они похожи на меня. Это люди.
people of the same spirit.
Well, with international traveling with a long distance bag like this one, I'm not too experienced. But with the short travel with the hard enduro, that's my main area of experience.
Many of the Mixovka participants have an extensive traveling experience, which they've come to share. I'm more of a listener here, feel ready to share what I've got. Of course, it would be great to hear other people's experiences, to make new friends here, to get some new ideas. I have very little experience. I want to communicate. My experience isn't enough yet. I've come here for new ideas. If I have to tell something, I certainly will. For me, finding answers to my questions is extremely important. I want to listen, to simply listen to the people.
I'm listening very.
I think I have received all I wanted. We certainly communicate via internet, but without such meetings, it's not quite real. It's incomplete. That's what made me organize it. Then came the 3 days devoted to experience sharing, run in different formats. First format. The authors of the future travel projects, who are only planning to set out on a journey, presented their planned routes, looked for road companions. There are many different directions, but the main thing, and it's what I've come here with, now I want to make a solo motor travel around the globe, but not along the well-ridden route, a different one, which will also include conquering the highest peaks on every continent I will pass through. Ivan Petrov, Sevastopol, Crimea, Ukraine. Alpinist, traveler, participant in the program 7 Peaks, 7 Continents, have traveled through over 40 countries, conquering the highest peak in practically every one of them, including such mountains as Elbrus, Kilimanjaro, Adam Peak, Fansepam, and others. Have traveled on a bicycle from Stockholm to Copenhagen through all the Scandinavian peninsula, spent several years traveling on a bicycle through the Caucasus, the Alps, and the Carpathians. Now planning to have a solo around-the-globe motorbike trip. So the route lies through Southeastern Asia, the Himalayas, but without conquering the peaks, as it is a completely different thing. After it, I'm heading for Australia, conquering its highest peak, then New Zealand, again its highest peak. After it, South America, Argentina, the highest peak, then McKinley, North America, Alaska, and going back along the Great Silk Road through China. It's a rare direction. Hardly anyone has ever traveled around the globe this way. To communicate with the people who have experience in this field, to ask them questions. So I've come here, and this is my main goal for today. Second format. Here, the Mixovka participants had a chance to discuss questions that are interesting for them, and even to start planning joint travels. I try to follow the rule that the preparation for a travel must be at least as long as the travel itself. Nikita Tikhonov, Tula, Russia. Motor traveler, covered about 35,000 kilometers, planning to travel the remote places in eastern Siberia, Altai, Transbaikalia, Kolyma, Far East, across the desert terrain. The Czech Republic, Germany, certainly Russia from north to south, and from west to Baikal, Abkhazia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, India, Ukraine.
Я думаю, что это большое для меня путешествие.
I think it's a big travel for me. I have been to Pamir alone on this bike,
Один с этим мотоциклом.
to Turkey, then Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, through
Таджикистан,
Kyrgyzstan, and then Kazakhstan, Almaty,
Казахстан, Алматы,
returning via Russia, Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, and Bulgaria.
Украина, Молдовия, Румыния.
I covered about 19,000 kilometers, and the journey took 2 months.
2 месяца.
Third format was devoted to extensive presentations on the travels completed and discussing the topics interesting for the travelers.
Все социальные мои путешествия.
I do all of my social travels not alone. Anton Bondarenko, Zaporozhye, Ukraine. Traveler, holds records entered in Ukrainian Book of Records, travels by bicycle, on foot, hitchhikes, has done a solo travel around Mongolia, the land of the blue sky. In autumn 2010, did a solo cycle race throughout Ukraine, Open the Heart, Choose Life. The cycle race was part of the project Ukrainian Book of Records, from the most western point of Ukraine, Choptown in Zakarpatska Oblast, to the most eastern point, Chervona Zirka village in Lugansk Oblast.
Для чего делаются такие акции?
What are such initiatives for? To attract people's attention, to raise their awareness of the problem. We do hiking tours for children, orphans, children from large families. We also do summer camps. And the last thing we did, in early September we ascended Ukraine's highest peak, Mount Gaverla. The purpose of the ascent was to raise funds to build a family-type house for disabled children. Fourth format. Every participant briefly introduced themselves and shared their traveling experiences. 1,200 miles, 2 weeks of solo sailing. Vitaly Yelagin, winner and medal winner in yachting competitions, winner of Russian Yachting Championship in 1998, has been sailing ever since he was a child, sailed the Azov and the Black Seas. In 2008, took part in a solo across-Atlantic race, Azores Chester Challenge, along the route Plymouth, UK, Praia da Victoria, Azores Islands. Vitaly's goal is development through the ocean.
Удивительно было, когда я сделал яхту.
The amazing thing was when I had made the yacht, or rather done a serious makeover, for it to be able to sail independently without a steersman. It was amazing when it worked. I was expecting it, but when I saw that it was sailing, not straying from its course, and I could do whatever I wanted, it was really great. It was the greatest discovery. Fifth format. In the evening, there were film screenings and discussions of the movies made by Mixovka participants. It's no fun to travel on big ships, it's fun to sail small ones. It's really cool. You're closer to the water with the waves splashing over you. Traveler is a person who can do without a lot of things and travel with no plan in mind. Denis Sherbina, Kryvyi Rog, Ukraine, has been doing yachting and mountain climbing since 2003. In 2010, he sailed to Egypt on a 4-meter catamaran, crossed 3 seas in just 2 months. In 2011, he and his friend traveled by hitchhiking ships, going somewhere without a faintest idea what the future holds. That is, there are tourists that plan their journey and they have everything going along with the plan. It's a program type of traveling, in which they know everything in advance. What makes it exciting is when you have no idea what tomorrow will bring you. It's really cool. Sixth format. At Mixovka, there was a photo exhibition with the participants' photos. Mainly, I participate in rally raids, the competitions which as a rule are far from home. Victoria Rulenkova, Moscow, Russia, participated in marathon rally raids in the mountains in Samara Oblast and Astrakhan deserts, travels alone, has traveled Russia, Karelia, Kalmykia, Ukraine, Belarusia, is planning a moto travel in Norway for June 2012. Last year, we took part in rally raid in Tarkhankut. Since there's no women's event, only men's, and I took the third place competing against men. I'm happy that I beat a lot of men. The informal communication got yet more intensive between the formats, which was also due to those little pleasures of an open-air rest.
There's something wrong with the world today. I don't know what it is. Something's wrong with our eyes. We're seeing things in a different way, and God knows it ain't his. It sure ain't no surprise. We're living on the edge. Living on the edge. Living on the edge.
Mixovka got together a lot of unique people who see traveling not as a leisure activity, but as one of the sides of life. Mixed life is life without distinguishing between work and rest, have to and want to, business and creativity. Mixed life is a mixture of the real things and sifting out the empty things. It's only while traveling that you're really integrated in the world around you. It's only while traveling that you're moving, developing, and enjoying the process itself. Traveling is the peak form of mixed life. People set out on a journey when they are ready to find a new side to themselves. Usually, 80% of life goes on reflexes. Traveling gives you a better integration in the world around you, thus prolonging your life. I know that it's only a beginning, and I firmly believe in the limitless potential of every individual.
When you forget your name, when old faces all look the same.
Mixovka participants have different experience and traveling formats. They travel by different means and with different goals in mind. But they're all united by the desire to test themselves on their road and to have the trajectory of their life go across the world map. I think that a person cannot dream anything up. Everything has already been given. That is, every one of us is performing our mission. Sergei Gordienko, Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, professional traveler, specialist in solo extreme surviving of international level, philosopher and one of the founders of the science of migratology, walked over 150,000 kilometers, participated in the first Ukrainian Antarctic expedition in 1996, was the first in the Ukrainian history to set the national flag on the North Pole. In 2003, started the round-the-world walking expedition, Solo Transglobal. The road is my main information field. Sometimes things get pretty hard, you lose your temper, but then it's gone. Finding comfort in the extreme is essential. Anyone can achieve it, if you believe it. If a person traveling doesn't change, it's a bad travel. Ernst Simon Bloch. I travel because I dreamt about it in the childhood. I love nature. I love this traveling state. It's interesting, it's my life. Freedom is essential, and the feeling of freedom makes me move. In order to feel real love towards your native place, you need to get away from it. To understand and discover myself and find my way. Search, including metaphysical search for the meaning of life. The idea of a travel comes to me when I'm sitting in front of my computer in the evening. I always have them in my mind, they come and go. The childhood and youth dreams that I once had and which couldn't come true. I sometimes find it on the internet. I saw something on the map and wanted to go there. I read books and watch movies. Spontaneously, it's mostly intuition and dreams. I like traveling most of all on foot, sailing, on foot, but sailing. I like to walk, sailing, motorbike, bicycle, certainly motorbike.
Motorcycle is my favorite.
On foot. I have been to many places, and the most significant of my travels is McKinley Peak, Azores Chester Challenge, solo journey to Mongolia. The fact that I travel is an achievement in itself. Integrating in any social and cultural environment is my main achievement. Every travel is a kind of achievement. I am dreaming about Mount Kilimanjaro, jungle, Magadan, Mongolia, Pamir, and all at a time, to Mexico. I want to climb Elbrus, Karelia, Baikal Lake, and Kamchatka, to travel all the countries in the world. Every travel I plan is a dream. To travel around the world on a bike, to travel around the world, to sail around the world, of course around the world.
Around the world, travel.
Some faraway places. I want to only travel. I have covered thousands of kilometers. 27,000 kilometers, 20,000 kilometers, 46 days. Almost 3,000 miles to Suez Canal. Almost 2 months and about 20,000 kilometers. Ascending Elbrus. 18,000 kilometers I covered in 1.5 to 2 months in summer. 5,642 meters high, but I went 5,350 meters. 2,000 miles, 2 weeks, solo voyage. 5,400. I have never measured mileage. 5,642.
2,000 kilometers one way and 2,000 back for 4,000 kilometers.
5,200. It helped me understand that I can easily do without the comfort of this civilization and at the same time be much happier. There is nothing insurmountable or unachievable in this life. Realizing that any distance can be covered. Human abilities are boundless. A human being can do a lot. Every day is a sort of discovery for me. Whether people are willing to help you and how friendly they are. The world is one, people are one, and there are no borders. Cosmos is working. Do not bother about detailed plans. The destiny will take care of everything. While on the road, I would never be too self-confident. Make detailed step-by-step plans. Bear to meet a bear. Think about my job. Ask stupid questions. When traveling, I'm open to everything. Sit in one place. Sometimes I'm afraid. Something that I don't understand strikes fear. I will just drop dead in a second or two. Fear comes, and for 15 and 20 minutes, Fear comes, and for 15 or 20 minutes I try to deal with it. There may be the fear of failure, the fear that you will let others down. Fear is normal. I'm afraid, but I love it. I'm afraid to fall down and be unable to go any further. That the bike will break down, it's the biggest fear because I am not a mechanic, but I will have to somehow deal with the problem. The hardest thing on the road is deal with unwillingness to do anything, to be real. Start. That is, make yourself get underway, overcome the fear and start. It's very difficult to travel when it's cold. I haven't faced the difficulties that would bring me down. Loneliness. There isn't such a thing as a problem. I don't see them as problems, but as a lesson. The biggest problem is in our head. What sometimes disappoints me is when you lose an anchor. I haven't made it. Others have, but I haven't. I have had no disappointment so far. I don't know what disappointment is. Nothing. I am the kind of person who is fascinated by things. I haven't had any disappointments because I have no expectations. That's why I am ready to be fascinated. When the goal has been achieved, there's a thought, some kind of joy feeling, joy. Another goal crosses my mind. It's time to go home, time to go home. A moment of joy. And then you return home to your routine. I trade in construction materials, restaurant business, building shops. I am an auditor. I am a professional yachtsman, children trainer. I am a teacher of math. I am in construction. I am a teacher of math and I organize holiday events. I have a little company producing wooden toys. Builder, construction.
Business is a little bit connected with travel, making a map, GPS map for Bulgaria.
I am a system analyst. And other hobbies: sport, tennis, parachute jumping. I play tennis every other day. Hand gliding. I love drawing. Windsurfing. We do cross-stitching. Rock climbing. Diving. Hand gliding. I started learning to play the guitar. Bungee and parachute jumping. I like cycling, rollerblading, snowboarding, windsurfing. Photography. I am also a poet. Everything new. Innovative projects. The most important experience I got during my travels is communicating with people. It's the most important thing. People skills. There are no good or bad nationalities. There are no hopeless situations. The sky and the people everywhere are the same. Integrating in any environment and finding common interests. You shouldn't be afraid, but you should listen for the signs of destiny. And now I can say that traveling is a way to discover yourself, a chance to discover the world. It's a lifestyle. There's the road, there's the goal, there's the feeling of here and now, the feeling of life. For me, traveling is a part of life, rest, or even life. It's an adventure, it's a way of life, it's freedom. It's been my life in the recent years.
Other countries, other cultures, meet other people.
And the real traveler is the one who... It's a person who isn't afraid of the road. It's a free person. He doesn't look for excuses, but tries to get closer to the dream. He travels without pursuing any goals or records, but as it was said yesterday, to get from point A to point A. One travel leads to another, often without returning home. It's a person discovering himself and the world around him. It's a human being, capital letter. I know many people who travel. They're all real. I look at the people who have come to this event. I can't call them crazy, but they are happy people. 3 days later, Mixovka put down the flag. The participants were going home with presents and new travel ideas. Which of them will become a reality, we will know in a year at the next Mixovka, because sharing experience doesn't mean becoming poorer, it means making people richer.